Yo, what's good, everybody? This Freddie G, School of Hard Knocks. Didn't put the episode number on there, but I'm gonna fix that here soon. But yeah, this another roller coaster weekend, man. Another roller coaster weekend for the most part. Hold on. Yeah, for the most part, man, it was a crazy weekend of championship games. Um, got to get into them. Pretty much, we start off with the BYU and Texas Tech. They played it once again. This time BYU kind of they didn't look like they was ready to play. They was kind of like us. They wasn't prepared. Texas Tech pretty much went up on them early, and then like it was pretty much over at that point. So Texas Tech ended up going up in the rankings, whereas you got these other games that's coming on the later on that day. That was pretty more. It was pretty much more, you know. Uh, you were pretty much more into it, I guess you could say. If you're not a fan of either BYU or Texas Tech, but yeah, gotta go with the SEC championship. And we played Alabama and Georgia. These two, within the last, especially the last like 4 or 5 years, pretty much, we've been playing in a lot of SEC games, and we pretty much won all of those. We had a streak of going to the SEC. Of course, it wasn't exciting though, but we haven't lost the SEC championship since 2008 to Tim Tebow. Now think about how long ago that was. That was the first time I've like my first like major loss as a fan was in the SEC championship against Florida. So um we got I mean I'm not making no excuses. Georgia pretty much built the ass on us all night last night on both sides of the ball. Well, I'm not gonna say both sides. Defense did their best, but you know I mean we gave them short field a couple of times. A block punt, interception. All these things kind of like lined up. And the question now is, do we make a change at quarterback? Because Ty has regressed, and I know I'm gonna split a lot of fans with this, but I think we should. I think we should go Austin Mack and see what he has. Like especially like we're gonna I know that we're gonna try to ride it out the first half of the Oklahoma game, but if he's not making no improvements, we need to go ahead and put Austin Mack in. That's facts. That's facts. Now, in the time, like for the time being, we got to rest and heal up because we had like a lot of players out too. That's not making no excuses. We just wasn't prepared last night. But we need to go ahead and get Quavis back, Jam back, LT Overton. These key players, rest all the other players that's kind of banged up. And let's see what we could do. See if we can make a run. It's gonna be kind of we gotta the offense is it just regressed. That's the only thing I got a lot of confidence in the defense. But the offense just regressed. And now we got to go play Oklahoma in Norman. Now, I want this get back. I really do. And they only beat us, and they just played us like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm hoping it's not, you know, I'm just hope because you know that this Oklahoma defense is one of the best defenses in the country. So you know they're coming. And we just gotta handle business. And it's scary because it's offense. We're not too dependent on this offense. But if the offense can get clicking, and the defense is clicking at the same time, it's gonna take a cold ass team to knock us out. So, but we gotta play Oklahoma and Norman. Luckily, we got like a week or two to prepare. But like I said, we just gotta rest our players, and just get ready for it. Georgia, like I said, they got their second win in the last 7 meetings with Alabama. Congratulations. Even though we beat y'all at y'all house early in the season, and we ended that 19-game winning streak at home. So, what? Well, how many games was it at home? I'm not. I don't really. I'm not even too sure. But I mean, it's in the past now. We ended that. We ended Georgia's three-peat. We ended Georgia's 33-game regular season winning streak. We ended that last year with Jalen. And we ended that 19-game home win streak this year. We just be in the streaks for Georgia. Now, yeah, they got that SEC championship off us. But I mean, it's 1-1. Hopefully for y'all don't want to see us for the third time. Because I could guarantee you it's gonna be a different outcome. But it is what it is. We won one, so uh Ohio State. The mighty Ohio State played Indiana last night in the Big Ten championship. These two teams are the top of their conference, and was on a like pretty much a head-to-head collision all the way throughout the season. To now, I was kind of shocked. Ohio State beat. I mean, not Ohio State. I'm kind of shocked Indiana managed to beat Ohio State after the Ohio State missed field goal. So it looks like Ohio State didn't get that perfect season that they wanted. It is what it is. Ben told y'all that Ohio State are frauds. I don't care how close that game was, the score was. I don't see them repeating. You can say that they playing like the champions and all they want. They're not repeating. By far not. Uh, it is what it is. You got a talented roster. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but your quarterback did come from Alabama and your safety. So it's just like it's hard. It's just hard. It's just hard to try to buy into that hype. But a lot of fans apparently did. So I mean, hey, you can't lead a horse to water. Or however that saying go. But hey, look, and then not only this before I get into the playoffs, I got a couple of gripes I got to get off. One, last night we lost to Georgia. We took the ass up to Georgia last night. Congratulations. They won the SEC championship. I couldn't admit that. But these other fan bases that want to hop on the hate train, like, had a lot of Auburn fans celebrating Georgia winning beating us last night. And I'm like, man, hold on, wait a minute. That Georgia and Auburn game was pretty much more heated than anything. Like, it was much more fights than the Alabama and Auburn game. But of course, Auburn hates Alabama, so whenever Alabama lose, then they find a reason to celebrate. They turn up. Even if they lose. Even if Auburn loses the same day as Alabama lose, it don't matter. Alabama losing is better than Auburn winning. That's how a lot of Auburn fans feel. That's just how it is. So I mean, I think we had a lot of feelings last week. We've been putting belt the ass on them since damn COVID. But it is what it is though. Like I said, these fans or fan bases want to hop on whoever we play, and then like I said, it just make them look even more clownish and stupid. Cause today, I guarantee you, a lot of those fans were disappointed. Like, man, I've been on TikTok, I've been on YouTube. It's been so much crying going on all day about why Alabama got in with 3 losses. A lot of crybabies, a lot of mad Georgia fans, Auburn fans, all these crybabies. They just crying. They just crying because we're in. Let it go. We in. We got our ass whooped last night to Georgia. But it doesn't matter. We in. That game did not have no significant damage to us apparently. Because we didn't even drop a spot. We stayed at number 9. So look, and then the reason why I say that, because we put the committee in a hard spot. Not only did last year, when they didn't put us in over SMU, because SMU lost in the conference finals as well to a mediocre Clemson team. They lost. And they still put SMU in instead of Alabama. So you think the committee gonna be a hypocrite and go back on that word when they say they're not gonna punish The conference losing? No, they're not. Not only that, because Alabama was the #1 seed in the SEC up until last night. In the SEC because they beat Georgia already at their house. I like to forget that. That same team that beat our ass last night, we beat them at their house. So I wasn't even stressing the fact that I knew we was gonna be in the playoffs. I was worried about the seeding. So, like I said, got that out the way. A lot of these fan bases crying, get over, we win. Alabama in the playoffs. Most likely your team is not. Or if not, they're not gonna be in for long. So, like I said, a lot of crybabies. And then and I gotta bring this up. Notre Dame. The Notre Dame Irish fighting Irish. Man, you know, all this could have been avoided. I swear all this could have been avoided if you were to actually join the conference. So a lot of this has been going on throughout many years. Notre Dame, they want to be independent. They don't want to join the conference. And they get these little schedules. Now that the college football playoffs has expanded to 12 teams, it just give a chance for a Notre Dame to get in regardless, as what they thought. Now, granted, they had a good record, but who did they play? Not only that, who did they play? They lost the first game to Miami. They lost to Miami. So head-to-head should definitely count or matter. So Notre Dame loses to Miami. Okay. They lose another game. Now, they went on to win the rest of their games, but strength of schedule plays a major part as well. They don't play nobody. That's a major factor as well. So now that the truth has came out, everybody's out. You know, everything, the whole bracket. I said the bracket early this morning before it even came out. Now I was doing a lot of video watching. I kind of seen the bracket around 9 or 10 o'clock. So I was, like I said, I was already real confident. I knew we was gonna make the playoffs. I was just worried about the seeding. Because I thought we was gonna drop to like 10 or 11. But you know, we stayed where we stayed. So Notre Dame got left out the college playoffs. But crybabies, you should have just joined the conference. This could have all been avoided if you would have just joined the conference. But no. You want to be all high and mighty now look at you. Hey, I ain't got no sorrow, no mercy, or any kind of grief for you. You put yourself in the situation. And now you got Notre Dame fans crying. They doing the most crying out of anybody, as they should. They didn't make the playoffs. I could relate. That was us last year. But now that, you know, the committee made the right decision, they put these clowns out the playoffs. Now they fans is crying. Fans crying. Oh, how did we get left out the playoffs? We beat almost everybody this whole season. But you got to look at, like I said, the strength of schedule, and plus the defenses that y'all played this whole season. It's been high school defenses. Alabama has played in one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference. Period. Notre Dame, they don't, like I said before and I say it again, they don't play nobody. They're not in the conference. They just there. They just there. So now you got a lot of them Notre Dame fans crying. And now Notre Dame, they so petty. They so big crybabies. Now they want to take that ball and go home. They don't want to play in no bowl game. They don't want to play in no ball game. Because they didn't even make the playoffs. Join the conference, crybabies. That's soft, bro. That's soft. Oh my God. Didn't even want to play in the bowl game to take your anger out on, man. But then again, I guess they seen what happened to Mike corn-ass Norvell when he played against Georgia a couple years ago and got skull drugged. I guess he don't want the same result either. But you know, come on, Notre Dame. Don't be no crybabies like that. That's some punks right there, bro. All because you didn't join. All because you didn't even get in the playoffs. Like I said, you should have joined the conference. You losers. Good. All right. Well, I can't say good luck in your little ball game, but because you ain't gonna play in it. But yeah. Oh wait, man, that's crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Like you so mad and upset and in your feelings because you can't be in the playoffs because you don't. It's your fault. You don't join the conference. But you get mad at a team that played in the conference game last night with a lot of injured players, banged up players. Not making no excuses. We got our ass whooped last night. But this thing that saved us, what I think is, one, we went on the midseason gauntlet and just beat everybody. Two, the first team that we beat in that midseason gauntlet was the same team that beat us last night. So we beat the SEC champions. That's two. Three, we play in the toughest conference in college football. So that kind of rules out all of that. That definitely rules out all of that. And then, like I said before, four, they made a mistake last year. They don't want to make the same mistake this year. They don't want to make a contradicting, hypocritical mistake this year. Because if they would have punished us last night, then we was just going to do away with conference championships. Ain't nobody going to want to play in it. They don't want to have that discussion right now. They're going to have to have it at some point, but they don't want to have the discussion right now. So, and y'all can cry about BYU losing their conference championship. Well, yeah. BYU don't play nobody either. So, it is what it is. They just need to stop. Stop crying. I knew last night when I went to bed, I said, man, we finna have a lot of people pissed off tomorrow. We finna have a lot of people pissed off tomorrow. And I'd be damned if we did. My dream pretty much was just like vivid, but I knew, like I said before, I knew we was gonna make the playoffs. Now a lot of people could say, well, yeah, y'all gonna lose to Oklahoma. Y'all got beat by Oklahoma before. Well, look, as it shows, sometimes it's hard to beat the same team twice in the same season. I know Georgia did it to Texas last year, but this is a different scenario. And we know we're going to Norman, we're going to Oklahoma, we're going to play them. But I mean, hey, it's the SEC, and we in the playoffs. Don't let Bama do. I swear, do not let Bama go on a run. If we get to clicking on every side of the ball, special teams and everything included, coaching staff, if everybody clicking, it's gonna be a fun playoffs. But just the fact that we got in just pissed off a lot of people, pissed off a lot of analysts. I mean, but like I said though, when you make that mistake last year not putting this in, this is what you will come with. You got to make the right decision. Does Alabama look like one of the best 12 teams? Not last night, no, we didn't. But the body of work that we had produced over the season, we definitely did. Like I said, we did pretty much what we supposed to do up until last night. We didn't get a job done against Oklahoma. We didn't get the job done against Florida State. That's okay. But one, look at Florida State, look where they at. I don't think them clowns getting a bowl game. Then two, we lost to Oklahoma, but look, we get the rematch. So we get to go back and do what we do and try to avenge that loss we had a couple weeks ago. And we got a chip on our shoulder. We just lost pretty bad last night. I think we respond well after a loss. So, you know, I got faith in KB. But like I said though, man, I think we do gotta make that quarterback change. We definitely gotta make that quarterback change because I don't know if it's like a mental. Ty was doing great in the beginning of the season. Like he was clicking, he was doing everything, you know. Wide receivers was doing their job. Of course we still got a flaw in the running game. We rushed for -3 yards last night. That's embarrassing. We can't do that. We cannot do that. That's not tolerated. So we gotta definitely get that on par. The running game. Get the running game on par. Get Ty back to doing what he was doing like in the midseason with the passing. I know he struggled with the deep ball, which is crazy. Like I said before, this is like nuts. Jalen had a hard time with intermediate or short passes, but he was excellent at the deep pass. Like he was excellent at deep passes. But whereas Ty, he struggles with the deep pass, but he's excellent with the mid and the intermediate, like in the short passes. Like it's crazy. Um, I'm not sure what it is with Ryan. He had a pretty decent game last night, but he's not like how he was last season. Now, granted, it's a new quarterback, and plus another thing, he's just 18, so he still got a lot of development to go through. I'm hearing a lot of stuff like eye vision, like all that, but I'm not too sure. I ain't gonna put a lot of like emphasis on it, but I'm just hoping he has a big game against Oklahoma. Or however far we get, the farther we get, I hope at some point we're in for a Ryan Williams game. Hell, we're in for a Ty Simpson game. So it's due. But like I said, man, I'm excited. I'm glad we back in the playoffs. Hopefully we do what we do and execute. We're finna go into these next 2 weeks, rest, get our players back. I know we kind of beat up. We did our job. We got into the playoffs. And all we gotta do is see how far we could take this thing, how we can run with it. I got a lot of faith in this team, even though we took a loss last night. Thing is, we beat that same team we took a loss to last night, and I guarantee you we'll see him again if everything plays its part. So, and I'm like I said, I'm hoping we do a great job at resting and then getting our development and working and executing on our flaws, because I want us to have a deep run, a deep run, because we done pissed off a lot of people already just by getting in. Now let's see how far we can get in, just like continuously doing our thing and clicking. So that's it for me. That's it for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead out. I might pull back up again sometime this week, discuss some more game plan strategies, and probably talk about some more sports. Finna get into that Duke basketball this week too. Duke has been doing that thing this week. I mean, not this week, but recently. We beat Florida the other night by 1 point, and we beat them, and it was kind of like, because they the reigning champions. It kind of felt good, because that was supposed to be the matchup from last year, man, and we didn't get that because Duke didn't get the job done. They didn't execute. So hopefully at some point we get back to that. But it is what it is. So, man, this Freddie G, School of Hard Knocks. Peace.